famous for three things in government, and that's framing the problem, finding the right supplier, and making working with the government easy. So we're focusing on solving three specific problems. One of the things that we observed at the industry briefing that Ian took us through, and also in the briefing that we got this morning, is that there are many problems we could try and focus on solving. We didn't have enough time to boil the ocean, so we've picked a small pond and we've put the gas burners under that, and we're going to burn 5 problems today. The first one is the disconnection between requirements and the pace of ICT offering. So how does government and the people within the procurement function of government keep up to speed with how fast the solutions are moving? I think there's a lot of organisations in the commercial world and even amongst organisations competing with each other. Things are moving so fast now, it's very hard to know what's the best solution. So we've got a way of addressing that. The second problem we're addressing is the existing procurement solution as it stands is overcomplicated. User adoption is low, people don't want to use it, and it's not unlocking as much value for government as it should be, and it's frustrating vendors who have to spend a lot of time working through that existing process. The third problem we aim to address today is difficulty in finding the right supplier. We'll show you why that is a problem, and we'll also take you through what our solution looks like. Availability of qualification data for buyers and sellers. At the moment, we see procurement government as simply transactional. Here's a list of customers, here's a list of categories, here's what I need, tell me about it. Right? And there's limited amount of smarts in actually the qualification process, both for government in terms of the solution they're picking, the suppliers they're going to use, and also for vendors bidding for work and qualifying for, do I want to work for that agency? Do I want to invest that time? I've got a set amount of budget for pre-sales, and based on what I'm reading and qualifying, my answer might be no. And fifth one is there's no incentive to take risk with small firms for government agencies at the moment. So problem one, I'm going to move through these pretty quick. I think I've got about 6 minutes left. So we see problem one, the disconnect between the business statement designed by, or the problem statement defined by agencies, and the final solution offered to the suppliers is often a disconnect. So what does that mean? So in the space between the business case and going to market, there is an engagement with suppliers to understand actually what are the solutions available at the moment. Has anything new come up in the last 6 months? What are other agencies in other states doing, as opposed to defining a problem, going to market and giving me something? So our solution is to change the process of procurement and to put a checkpoint between business case and request for funding and going to market that allows a method for the agency going to market to engage with the market to get a view of what the real price is in the market for the solution they're looking for problem for, and understand what solutions are available to solve that problem in such a way that's quick and efficient. In reality, it's a modern RFI process. How we've modernised the RFI process is to embed a targeted TPAP. It's an acronym we invented about an hour and a half ago. It's a 10-minute pitch in a page where you invite a targeted group of organisations in to pitch their solution to your problem and leave you with an A3 piece of paper that has all the commercial terms and their key win themes about why you should consider their solution for your business case, and give you the right information to inform your budgetary estimates so you go to market for a right solution. Next slide. Problem two, existing procurement solutions are overcomplicated. We find the existing solution isn't intuitive, it doesn't promote reuse, and it requires a lot of time and effort. Lots of duplication, limited smarts. How we're going to solve that? Use machine learning, natural language processing to automate the process for both the issue and response of tender documents. So a lot of organisations respond to documents that often have the same questions, and a lot of agencies are trying to solve the same problem. So what we plan to do for government is use machine learning and predictive language to compile likely questions, documents, categories, previous problems and solutions, and the suppliers that we used in order to pre-populate tender documents for human validation and refinement. So we can see this is cutting out 60 to 80% of the workload of issuing tender documents to the market. For the supplier, what does it mean? Use machine learning and predictive language algorithms to issue tenders pre-populated my previous answers or the supplier's previous answers and responses to similar questions that have already been answered in other tender processes. They're then provided to the supplier for validation, update, removal, or then submission. So what does it mean? Probably takes 70% of the effort out of vendors to respond as well. So you're likely to get more information from the market faster, quicker, and cheaper. Problem 3, difficulty finding the right supplier. At the moment, our understanding of searching for supplier is by category. It's painful, offers very little value or intuitive link to capability. How do we solve this problem? One-click Google style search for suppliers by problem statement. So we're flipping it. We're not searching for suppliers by name. We're not searching for suppliers by solution. We're actually searching for suppliers by problem statement. 2 minutes. How do we do that? We make use of Google style search technology to do a targeted search on supplier profiles, net promoter scores, delivered projects, previous tender responses, not necessarily winning tender responses, and look at existing live project data to understand who would be the right vendors to solve this problem, not what their capabilities are. Next. Availability of qualification data for buyers and sellers. There really isn't enough information. There is enough data available at the moment, but there's not enough information available at the moment for both suppliers and customers to make informed decisions about performance and who they want to deal with. We're proposing a curation solution that creates, monitors and analyses data on solutions to unlock buying power, the skills required to deliver them. It monitors how the buyer performs in terms of process and consistency. Are they adhering to government policies? Are they making it easy for vendors to work with them? And in terms of the vendor, are they delivering quality in-flight projects? 1 minute to go. And scoring all participants in the process to ensure that everyone is contributing to an effective outcome. How we're going to do that, we're going to collect data, visualise that data, suppliers by volume, suppliers by metrics, and understand, well, it's not necessarily the top 10 customers are getting the top amount of spend, that are getting the top net promoter score, which is a measure of customer loyalty. We want to link it to Jeremy's spend data and other government data to ensure that suppliers have access to the right information to tailor their solution offering to government, to watch where the trends are, to watch what government agencies are spending. And we want to push alerts to executives at all agencies of those new organisations that are getting the highest NPS score and arrange quarterly speed dating sessions with them where they have a strategic objective that's similar to those organisations. Problem 5, in 10 seconds, what we do in round 2, we would enhance the process map and engagement. 2, market scan, 3, market scan, 4, develop a scoring framework and process models to see if they're viable.
Thank you.
And that's the impact we think those solutions have on the must-haves. Most of them low. The biggest problem we see is around privacy, but we have a technology solution that we believe can address the issue of unique identifiers when sharing data between organisations. Any questions?
Can you tell me more about that technological solution for addressing privacy?
Yeah, I sure can. There are a number of solutions in the market at the moment. I know Ian is also looking at this problem.
It comes from me, so he knows.
With CSIRO, but the challenge in the market at the moment is around how do you share all data between organisations in such a way that when a unique identifier is there, you're breaching privacy laws. So there are a number of options out there at the moment that encrypt that unique key, that allow you to share the data, unlock the value in such a way you're not breaching privacy laws. So that could be done in such a way where if you're getting vendors score suppliers, or vendors score customers and customers score vendors, that you could actually aggregate that up to a customer or supplier level, and you could actually make it so that certain individuals, certain groups can't see each other's data other than how they've performed. So there are no unique identifiers, but there is a performance score on how DACs performed in their procurement process and the type of organisation digibuy wants to work with.
Any other quick questions? The judges?
I think I'm good for now.